season that Ralph Hasenhüttl has got to get to the bottom of. But I really do think that he is getting a grip of this club. He is getting the players in this squad that he wants. He's shipped a few out, you know, that he didn't want in his time in charge. And I think, you know, I'll always go back to Steve, the night here when they got absolutely hammered by Leicester by 9-0. And obviously the questions coming off the back of that were, you know, can he keep his job? Are Southampton going to make a change? And the message that came out loud and strong for Southampton was, we've got the right man here. We're definitely sticking by him. It's the players who've got to sort it out. And they seem to have done that. But they've got to get better at home.
Yeah. And from a player's perspective, Karen, how difficult is it when you basically, you know you're safe, you know you're not going to get into Europe. We were just seeing Liverpool still kind of struggle to hit their normal heights. It's not going to be easy for Southampton's players either.
It's not, but one player that will probably drag everyone through is Danny Ings, because he wants that golden boot. He's got 44% of Southampton's goals, 18 goals. If anyone's slacking off, if I was him, I would be going nuts at them, saying, come on, step it up. I've kept you up effectively this season. Give something back to me. So, you know, it's about standards and half of the team as well. You've got to remember now that, yes, they're safe, but for both teams, the managers are already preparing for next season, because it's over now this season. So you've still got to perform, but if I was Danny Ings, I would be making sure everyone is on top of their game and giving me the ball and the opportunity to score.
I'll tell you what, Steve, here's another one as well. And I mean, Karen might be able to say whether this would matter to players or not, but you were just talking, or we were just talking about Southampton's poor home form. If they lose another home game this season, Karen, and I know this one is obviously a tough one, that is the worst season at home in terms of defeats Southampton in their history will have ever had. You don't want that, do you? You don't want that on your CV as a footballer.
No, you don't. And you know what? These are the games. I know you talk about that. There's no pressure to go and enjoy it. As a player, I'd love to play in this now. No pressure. Go and express yourself. Not in front of fans, so I'm not going to get booed or anything like that. Go and, even if it is against Manchester City, go and enjoy myself. Make sure that the manager knows that I'm not being complacent. I'm ready to work hard. Be happy. It's a great opportunity.
Big challenge
it's a privilege,
then.
Isn't it?
Sorry, Karen. Big challenge then for Southampton tonight against Manchester City. 18 goals this season for Danny Ings. He's 3 behind Jamie Vardy. You've always got a chance with him in the side. This game's live on BBC TV as well. Here on 5 Live, Karen Carney is alongside Ali Bruceport.
Thank you, Steve. Despite all this football that's been going on over the last few weeks, we're doing game after game after game on 5 Live. My producer, George, has just had to remind me to get the stopwatch ready at the start of the game. I keep forgetting to do that. I don't know what has happened since lockdown, but I keep forgetting to do that. So thank you very much, George. It's also been pointed out to me by our editor this evening that Manchester City, since lockdown, Karen, they scored 1 against Chelsea, they scored 2 against Newcastle, they scored 3 against...
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights restrictions, we're not able to bring you the current sports commentary on this platform. You may be able to listen on an alternative platform. For further information and terms of use, go to bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately.
And away we go. 5 against Burnley they scored, Karen, so it's either 6 against Southampton or, as Steve, our engineer, pointed out, none against Southampton, because they're yet to draw a blank since the restart. Manchester City's team: Ederson in goal, Joao Cancelo at right back, Aymeric Laporte and Eric Garcia, the 2 centre-backs. So the 19-year-old Spaniard, Garcia, keeps his place ahead of John Stones on the bench and Nicolas Otamendi as well. Alexander Zinchenko's at left back. Southampton have a first attack. Shea Adams has been caught offside. Fernandinho back from suspension in central midfield. David Silva, the captain, alongside Bernardo Silva ahead of Fernandinho. Mahrez and Sterling wide, with Gabriel Jesus through the middle. Talent, speed, everywhere you look in this Manchester City team. light blue shirts, playing from right to left in this first half. Ederson drills a low ball, finds its target. That's Bernardo Silva, brings it forward down the right. His pass is slightly behind Mahrez, who goes back to collect it, slides it forward to Silva. Silva's cross in, very nearly reached Jesus, and Southampton have eventually scrambled that away. So straight away, Southampton under pressure as Manchester City attack down the right. Pep Guardiola standing in the sunshine, casual look. He's got that blue, dark blue Manchester City hoodie on with Citizens, the club nickname, written on the back of it, which I'm sure is spelled C-I-T-Y-Z-E-N-S, the little play on words. Hands in pockets, already barking out a couple of instructions. I'll give you the Southampton team in just a second. Real breeze blowing around the St Mary's Stadium as well. Sterling is trying to turn away from Kyle Walker-Peters, who had full hold of his arm. Sterling's complaining about that. He didn't get the free kick. Alex McCarthy, with the wind behind him, just gives a very gentle swish of his right boot, and the ball goes sailing 60, 70 yards downfield. Zinchenko's headed to his right, puts Cancelo under pressure. Cancelo hoofs his clearance high in the air, headed forward by Bednarek. Ward-Prowse jumps for a loose ball. David Silva waits for it to come down. Fernandinho heads it forward. You can probably hear that wind gusting around the stadium on our microphones here. Cancelo in with the tackle. Forward to Bernardo Silva. Jesus making a run through the middle. Silva just took a little too long. Fernandinho tries to win it back. 50-50 with Danny Ings. Ings feels he should have had a free kick and doesn't get the decision. So that is one aggrieved player on each side. Walker-Peters is going to have his hands full, Karen Carney, against Raheem Sterling.
He is, yeah. It's been a good start from Manchester City. They look quite aggressive. I mean, Fernandinho is back in that midfield role, and they're really pushing for it. Like you said, Walker-Peters is going to be up against Sterling and Zinchenko. So it'll be a good little battle against each other.
Fourth Premier League commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live. Phone lines will be opening, I think, at about half-time to speak to Emma Jones and Robbie Savage. Loads to talk about tonight on 606 08085 909 693. As ever, the number to dial. Sterling in quite a bit of space on the left. Low pass to Silva, David Silva. Forward to Mahrez, on to Sterling. Sterling on the dribble. Offside, Raheem Sterling. He was trying to beat Walker-Peters down by the byline, but the flag went up and the whistle blew. Southampton's team then, Alex McCarthy in goal, in bright pink. Kyle Walker-Peters at right back, Ryan Bertrand at left back. I saw Ryan Bertrand having a good chat to Kevin De Bruyne as they came off the field after the warm-up, and I presume they would have been together in Chelsea days at some point possibly. Jack Stevens into the back four for Vestergaard alongside Jan Bednarek, the Pole, this evening. Stuart Armstrong, James Ward-Prowse, Oriol Romeo and Nathan Redmond, with Danny Ings and Shea Adams up front. Southampton in the red and white stripes have given the ball away inside the Manchester City half, and again a real speed and intent about Manchester City, the way they've started the game. Gabriel Jesus runs out of room. The ball is floated forward by Southampton. Laporte brings it down on his thigh, plays it across to Garcia, who's not a big hulking centre-back. He's quite a slight, relatively small figure, but a lovely player on the ball, as you'd expect for Manchester City. Offside flag up again, I think against Mahrez. That's three offside decisions against him in the first 4.5 minutes of the game.
Well, he's good from the Southampton back line, keeping, I think there, Stevens, he's holding that back line up, and we're going, look, we're staying strong, let them run in behind, we'll hold a good line. And like you said, they've been offside 2 or 3 times now.
Karen Carney with us here at the St Mary's Stadium, where it's very warm in the sunshine here, so cool because it sits opposite the River Itchen here in Southampton. McCarthy clears long, Ings with the flick on, looking for the run of Adams. Big opportunity for Shea Adams this evening. Ederson draws him in, takes a touch, a bit casual with the clearance. Armstrong with a header. David Silva really wanted that, climbed high to win the header. Ball drops outside the City penalty area. Fernandinho nods it on. Ings picks it up 25 yards from goal, scoops it forward. Chance for Shea Adams, drives it with his right foot, actually finds Redmond at the far post. Redmond turns it back, looking for Ings. Southampton trying to get a shot away, and Manchester
come through that, they lead by 2-1. That's when Jesus scored his last goal, incidentally, the first leg at the Bernabeu. Then it'll be the quarter-final, semi-final and final of a competition that City are yet to win. They may not get a better opportunity than this. Well, it's a miskick by Laporte, and the chance is on for Redmond at the back post. It was a miscue by Ings initially. Bertrand goes down in the penalty area. There were 6s and 7s briefly there, Manchester City. A rare mistake by Aymeric Laporte, but as usual with Manchester City, they look to counter-attack straight away, but it's the on-loan right-back Kyle Walker-Peters who snuffs out the danger.
Well, it was a big chance, that was. I think it was Adams in the end who had the shot. Ings passed the ball out and he had a clear shot. There was a mistake by Laporte and should have hit the target. He snap-hooked it to the feet of Redmond and he couldn't quite clear it out of his feet.
And here's David Silva. Lovely open game of football so far. Nathan Redmond, veteran here for Southampton, has little support on this left-hand side. He's stepped beyond Cancelo. Infield it goes to Danny Ings. They've got a man over on that right-hand side. Armstrong is fouled by Zinchenko. It was Walker-Peters who was motoring up on the right-hand side, but Southampton have a free kick.
Yeah, that's good play from Southampton. Redmond's that type of player. As soon as he gets the ball, he wants to lift his head up and run at players. Cancelo just dived in at him, which is good news. This is a snap hook. Tries to hit the far post and completely gets it wrong. But with Redmond, that's a good sign. The fact that the fullback is trying to square up and trying to pinch the ball off you. And if you stop running as a fullback and a winger's running at you, you've got to make sure that the ball or the man doesn't go past you. And if both go past you, you're in big trouble.
Well, it's a long way out. Is Redmond going to have a go here at a dipper? It takes a deflection and goes away for the game's first corner.
Well, it's good, Arlo, so far. I thought the game might start a little
beyond
bit
Cancelo.
slowly, but both sides have really come out, wanted to play, which is a good sign.
There is Danny Ings. 3 goals in 3 appearances since the restart, including 2 at Watford in a victory last weekend. Left arm raised by Ward-Prowse, and it goes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and we'll start again.
Great little view of City zonal marking there, and that's good play. Zonal marking is all about attacking the ball. About the red shirts, all you're bothered about is the ball. If it comes into your area, you go and attack it. That's the whole idea, what it's based on. And that's good attacking from Laporte, I think it was on that occasion.
Deeper this time from Ward-Prowse. Fernandinho with the header. Falls here to the Scott Armstrong towards the back post, and Che Adams, who desperately needs a goal. $20 million he cost Southampton last summer. No goals in 29 appearances in all competitions. In fact, in 24 Premier League appearances, he's only managed 3 shots on target, and that was a shot that he had before that wasn't full of confidence, Lee. So contrasting fortunes for the 2 Southampton strikers today. Just needs to get off the mark, doesn't he, Che Adams, at the top level?
Well, that was typical of a striker out of confidence. When you snap hook it that far left, just a bit anxious, bit tight. It's just going to, you know, it's easy for me to say. I was never in that position in the first place, but I've been at the other end of it when a winger's got completely the right side of me and he's starting to give me a little bit of trouble. What you've got to do is relax and just play the game really simply. Don't put yourself under any stress. It's the same being a goal scorer. Just relax, the goals will come to you. Stay in the middle of the goal, Arlo, that's the key to it. Don't go wide, just stay right. Danny Ings, that's what he does, stays in the middle of the goal. And invariably the ball at some point will come to you, and then just relax.
I like your use of the phrase snap hook as well, because I know you're a big golfer, and that says a little bit perhaps about your current form since lockdown.
Playing actually very well, I'll have you know.
Okay.
That won't last now, I've said that, will it?
Sterling barged into by Walker-Peters, who joined Southampton from Tottenham on loan. It's been a curious season for Kyle Walker-Peters, as Sterling's left on the ground here. Let's take a look at the challenge.
There's not an awful lot in that. He's just got very, very tight. Not exactly sure where he catches him, to be honest with you.
Well, they tried a long effort from the free kick to no avail. He started the season in the first 11 for Tottenham Hotspur, then suffered a hamstring injury very early on in the Newcastle game, then recovered and was sent out on loan in January, which was rather odd. Serge Aurier, the starting right back at Tottenham, but then he couldn't get into the Southampton side, so this is only his third appearance of the season for them. Played his first 90 minutes for them at Watford last weekend, having come off the bench against Arsenal before that. And Ralph Hasenhüttl says maybe gives us options on the ball. It's yet to be confirmed. Who's the starting right back is missing through injury.
Well, it's difficult for young players when they get into a first team at Tottenham quite early. All of a sudden you think, you know, I've made it now, and then for whatever reason you moved on because of the injury, etc., and then you don't get in the Southampton side. That could just knock your confidence a little bit. Take a few games to get back.
This looks promising. Ings, can he get on the end of that ball from Redmond? It was well defended in the end by Laporte. David Silva. Redmond might be a little disappointed with the very open attacking teams going at each other here. Redmond started brilliantly. Remember, it was against Manchester City where he was given that. Was it a lecture? Was it a motivational speech by Pep Guardiola on the field at the end of a game that was Guardiola on the field? At the end of a game that was won very late on by Raheem Sterling. A vital victory in the end, en route to one of their consecutive Premier League titles. But he's a player that Pep Guardiola rates very highly, and he started well for Southampton.
Yeah, and just behind him, Bertrand's got his hands full today. He's got Mahrez and also Bernardo Silva coming over, and on that occasion he had two of them to mark. He did brilliantly well just to take a bit of a gamble and win the ball. But Mahrez, as we know, can win a game on his own.
Romeo brings the ball down comfortably under pressure from Bernardo Silva. Here's Alex McCarthy, who won the starting role in goal for Southampton after a miserable 9-0 defeat here to Leicester City in October. Angus Gunn was the unfortunate goalkeeper that night. And frankly, Lee, to see Southampton 13 points clear of safety, having taken a 9-0 hammering, and Ralph Hasenhüttl said it was horrible to watch. There was no fight. He said, I've never seen a team act like it. I, for one, was shocked that he kept his job. Here's Sterling. But he did, and fair play to Southampton and the board, because the improvement since has been very good indeed. In fact, the next two games after that 9-0 were away at Manchester City in the League Cup and League, and they did okay. They lost the League Cup tie 3-1, and they were very good in losing 2-1 in the Premier League. So maybe a few home truths were aired, having almost shipped double figures to the Foxes. Redmond again finds Ings. Forward is Armstrong, but the pass a little too straight.
Yeah, that was good movement, that was. Really good. Armstrong going inside, Danny Ings going wide, and the ball was on over the top. He got 1v1, but he just couldn't get the angle right to ping it out to this left-hand side.
I think by the end of that 9-0 lead, there were more people in the stadium today than there were after 90 minutes of that pretty poor evening in the Premier League. Southampton.
Well, since the restart as well, those two wins that they had against Watford and Norwich, they had 34 points before that. Not 34 will probably keep you up this season, to be honest with you, but it's just really all these games are invaluable for a team just to get to know each other, and it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight.
They're coming off seasons where they finished 16th and 17th. It's been tough. And after one win in their opening 13 this year, it perhaps looked like it was the year that Southampton would be relegated, having built up to it over the previous two, but they've really recovered well. Thanks in no small part to Danny Ings.
Yeah, I was just going to say that spreading the goals around a little bit would be a little bit more comforting for the manager if he could get goals elsewhere, because without Danny Ings, and I think Robbie Earle said before the game, they'd be in a relegation battle. Without Danny Ings, they'd be down.
Since the restart, City have been very good indeed. Aside from the defeat at Chelsea, which secured the title for Liverpool, City have won 4 games in all competitions. Oh, it's a long-range effort, and it's Che Adams, and he's got his first goal for Southampton. He's picked up the loose ball. He looked shorn of confidence when he had his first opportunity in the game. But look at that. What a way to get off the mark finally in your 30th appearance for your new club. Che Adams for Southampton from fully 40 yards. Southampton 1, Manchester City 0.
Well, it's Zinchenko's taking an absolute earful from Raheem Sterling. Just gets the ball in midfield, tries to take it on the outside, loses it, and then not even a second thought. Che Adams has had a look. He knows where the goalkeeper is. For him to do this straight away, can see that Edison's on the edge of the box. He likes to play outside of his box when the ball's in the middle of the park. We know that. Becomes another sweeper at the back, but already he's seen it, and the technique. Yes, it's an open goal, but it's still 50 yards to chip the ball over Edison. It's a brilliant goal, and as you said, Arlo hasn't scored, but when you get a goal like that, it makes up for it. And Zinchenko will be getting something from his manager as well. Not only Raheem Sterling having a go at him, but that inside midfield position that he takes up. You can't dilly-dally on the ball there. Somebody's going to come up and just take the ball off you.
What a delightful finish by Che Adams. He hadn't scored in 35 club appearances if you date back to last season with Birmingham City. That was only his 4th shot on target in the Premier League. But what a mighty weight lifted off his shoulders. And you talked about spreading the goals around, Lee, in this Southampton side. It was done within 2 minutes. But in the most unlikely circumstances, Che Adams from, well, it's more than 40 yards, wasn't it, in the end? Well, we've got a game on now because you'll guarantee that City will come out all guns blazing to get level. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Cancelo, the fullback, in for Kyle Walker.
You see the position of the City fullbacks at times when they go inside into that midfield area. It just allows the wide players a little bit more space, and it engages the midfield players in the opposition. So but you've got to release the ball. You're in a dangerous position if you lose it, as we saw.
Fernandinho. Zinchenko with a little bit of making up to do. Now Sterling. Well defended by Walker-Peters. Well, Adams did start the opening 6 Premier League games of the season, but it was a struggle for him, and it was obviously a struggle for Southampton as well. So he was benched, and then Danny Ings came into the side and started scoring regularly for the Saints. And Adams has barely had a look in since. Many appearances off the bench. It just hasn't fallen for him. And then he's presented with an opportunity like that. But still, that took a lot of skill and talent and poise to finish it off. Here's Mahrez looking for the equaliser. Cancelo, the cross. Fernandinho couldn't get his shot away. Space here. David Silva pings it across, and it's James Ward-Prowse who'll concede the corner. Curled out left-footed. Bednarek with the header clear. Here's Zinchenko. Raheem Sterling on the right-hand side. Fernandinho. Bernardo. Here's Riyad Mahrez, who's been in good form since the restart as well. Southampton well organised.
Yeah, the thing is, Arlo, he hasn't really had a run at Bertrand yet. He's not really got the ball at his feet and had a proper run at him.
Mahrez again. Cancelo, nice ball into Bernardo, tries to wriggle between a couple of midfielders, or one of them was Romeo, goes to ground and Andre Mariner waves play on. Bernardo does look frustrated, but Narek across to have a little chat with him as well.
Well, you can see the gap he was going for. They just closed in on him, he just knocks it in between them, and then he just goes, there's the leg that comes across, nothing in that. He was looking for it, he was waiting for the contact. There's an arm across him, he's complaining about a knee and also two arms. There's not enough in it for that.
Andre Mariner did delay the restart then, Lee, but then very quickly said play on, so he'd have heard from the Premier League Match Centre VAR. Check complete.
So is that a dive?
Something to consider, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a rhetorical question, you don't have to answer it.
I was hoping you'd appreciate the diplomatic way I did. Edison is very much part of the build-up from the back here for Manchester City. It's Bernardo in between the centre-backs now. Got some acreage to churn up here. And finds Cancelo. Run being made down the middle by Jesus. In behind, though, is Cancelo again. Bertrand is the defender. Nice skill by Cancelo. Whips it across to the back post, and Jesus was there. It arrived very quickly. I think he was onside, and it's over and behind for a goal kick.
Well, would have found out if he'd have put it in the net. It was very tight. Good skill from Cancelo. Goes inside to create the space outside there. And he was onside, and that's, you have to say, that's quite a big miss. It's coming with fizz and it bounces just before. Don't put anything on it, just let it hit you. That's the idea there. Just put your leg in the way and let it hit your leg. As soon as you put something on it, if it bounces in front of you, it's going up and over. It's a difficult chance, don't get me wrong.
Well, we've got the first drinks break of the afternoon here at St Mary's. There's Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Go and get us a coffee then.
I can't, Lee. It's social distancing.
Exactly.
In effect, you need to have brought your own flask of coffee, which I'm sure you have.
It's a good game, though.
Very good game.
And that's a good finish. The beauty about that is because he's standing away from it, he can see everything. He can see the goalkeeper. Look at Edison trying to get back. He knows already he's out of position. And that's a look of a goalkeeper who realises he's picking it out the net, and Zinchenko hangs his head down, knowing that there's going to be a tirade of instructions, shall we say, and the first person there was Raheem Sterling, just telling the young man. I'm pretty sure, I mean, thought about that again, Arlo. I'm pretty sure Pep's probably said, do you know what, just carry on playing, I want you to play. I don't think he's that critical when you get caught on the ball, because he wants people to play. Might be wrong in that.
Well, a magnificent moment for Shea Adams. Alex McCarthy then sends it into that Manchester City half. Zinchenko caught in possession again. Here comes Southampton. Armstrong, Redmond. Well, they were just on different pages there. Redmond had made a super run in behind Cancelo. Armstrong was already shaping to pass it to his feet. We've seen Southampton on visits here toil, haven't we, Lee? Once you take the pressure of relegation away, there's some good footballers in this side who are keen to express themselves against here world-class opposition. They're up for the fight today.
Yeah, and it's the best possible scoreline we could have hoped for. Southampton getting the first goal, because we know that City are going to have a lot of the ball, but now they've got to get back into this game with a goal. And the back line looks pretty secure at the moment for Southampton. Midfield is working hard. They keep getting picked off a little bit, as I said, in between those lines, but you expect that. You've got two masters at that in the two Silvers, just being able to wander into those little gaps.
Here's one of the Silvers, David.
I think they need to get Mahrez in the game a little bit more, City. They haven't really got it to his feet, and then I run like now. Stay away from him.
And he chips it skillfully into Jesus. Being followed by Jack Stevens. Good footwork by Jesus to keep possession under pressure from Ings and Redmond. Here's Laporte. Sterling. David Silva, what a good cross that is towards the near post. Bednarek concedes the corner.
Yeah, always one of the centre-backs. That's the position you need to go in. You don't need to mark anybody. You just need to get to that, just in front of the front post where the corner of the 6-yard box is. A lot of crosses come into that area, especially from City.
Bernardo back out to Mahrez. Here's Cancelo. Sterling making a run in off the right flank. First time ball is wonderful. Millimetres away from Gabriel Jesus in that 6-yard box. Well defended in the end by Southampton.
Well, Raheem Sterling picked your hamstring up. How he got that, I'll never know. I thought it was going out of play. And it's just a brilliant volleyed cross. Stretch on this, and it's Jesus at the near post who nearly has another tap in. Just misses his left foot. Great ball from Cancelo.
It was his only option here, Lee, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was running out of room to bring the ball under control.
Oh yeah, he had to hit it first time. The accuracy and quality of that cross when you're stretching and running at full pelt. Brilliant skill.
And look who's back clearing off his own line virtually. Danny Ings. Flag up on the far side against Danny Ings. He had a 3-year spell at Liverpool, but so unfortunate with injuries. He tore ACLs in both knees just as he was working his way back from the first injury. He then injured the other knee. But Jurgen Klopp cannot speak highly enough of him. When Southampton visited Anfield in February, Klopp said in his programme notes, "I hope he has an off day today, but his story this season brings joy to everybody lucky enough to know him." Here's Sterling. Now Riyad Mahrez. Will he take on Bertrand Hiv? One quick step over. Back to Bernardo. Now David Silva. Bernardo's continued his run.
That's top quality, that is, from Southampton. Bertrand one-on-one, not for long. Redmond comes back, makes it the 2, and they force him away from that area, and in the end Danny Ings gets a foot on it and they clear the lines. Really good team closing down.
Nicely round the corner by Jesus, who's continued his run, found by Mahrez. Perpetual motion, aren't they, Manchester City? Lovely ball. Here's Raheem Sterling, saved by McCarthy. That is super slick football by Manchester City. Here's Zinchenko, squares it to Mahrez, edge of the area. The give and go with David Silva, well watched by Walker-Peters. There's a poor clearance though. Fernandinho off the inside of the post. Here's Bernardo Silva. Lovely stuff from City. The header saved by McCarthy. That was David Silva in there. Sterling again, and that's wide.
Wow.
Everything but score.
Oh, we had everything there, every type of chance, and I think it's Fernandinho's. He asked the referee for a handball. I don't know where that was. I must have missed that one, but absolutely brilliant play. And this is the shot. And there it was. He was trying to say it was a handball from Stevens, I think it was, but brilliant header, brilliant save, great all-round action. And Sterling were just waiting for the edge of the net to bullseye. Thought it was in. And McCarthy thankful for the inside of that post.
How about David Silva leaping like a salmon out of a Scottish lock?
I'm saying brilliant save. If McCarthy doesn't save that, then he should be substituted, but we'll give the benefit of the doubt to the goalkeeper. Great action now. Some brilliant play from Jesus, set-up play that set the first chance up for Sterling.
Between the legs of Redmond, he won't appreciate that by Cancelo, who then fouls Oriol Romeu.
Really enjoying this game, Arlo.
Yeah.
Top quality all throughout, all sorts of things going on. City slick play, Southampton on the break, some really good closing down, some teamwork. Hassan Hoodle will be really pleased with his side, there's no doubt about that.
Seems to me, Lee, the opening couple of rounds since the restart, players weren't quite fit, they were tentative. They didn't want to exert themselves too much in the first half of games, even though 5 substitutions are permitted, for fear of running out of gas in the second half. I would say almost the season restarted with Liverpool's game against Crystal Palace in midweek when they won 4-0. And it wouldn't have mattered had there been 52,000 people at Anfield that night, or 56,000. I don't think the game would have been any different. The following night, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1, was a real Premier League game. And that's been the story since. There's been end-to-end action, goals in both halves. It looks like the players have found their feet and got used to the situation. Jesus down the middle, Bernardo will be disappointed with that pass.
You can't blame them, Arlo, because they didn't know what, it's unprecedented for everybody. They didn't know how they were going to feel. They've never done this before. 3 weeks training, then gone straight into full contact, etc. So you can't blame them for being a little bit tentative in the first half of games and just seeing how they feel. Last thing you want to do is come back, do all that work and training and be out that length of time and then pull a hamstring first 20 minutes of a game.
McCarthy's clearance straight to Fernandinho. Heavy touch first time, which is a rarity for Riyad Mahrez. Cancelo under pressure from Redmond, beaten by Redmond. Here's Nathan Redmond for Southampton, and then, well, his technique let him down right at the last.
Well, Cancelo really casual, that's the only word I could use. Didn't really look very comfortable on that. When you're playing against a player so intent on doing his job, Redmond, really intense, closing down, you can't afford to be casual like that.
Southampton win possession back again. It was Ward-Prowse this time. He started every Premier League game, the academy product here at Southampton, and he's away down the right-hand side, found by Romeu. Shea Adams making a run towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Redmond was there as well, and Cancelo does well to turn it out of his path and concedes the throw-in.
Well, I want to get on his back a little bit. He's a bit lucky here as well. There's no way he meant to do this. He meant to get a little bit more on it, because Redmond's not far off that. He doesn't know where he is. He's just trying to flick it round the corner. I think he's got a bit lucky there.
He hasn't properly established himself yet, Joao Cancelo. Cost $73 million. Kyle Walker is the incumbent at right back. Here's Redmond again, looking very lively indeed. On his right foot this time. That was on target, but a low save for Ederson.
Well, he's in the game a lot, Cancelo. 2v1 there. There's not an awful lot he could do. Thing is now, though, he should be shouting for help and saying, any chance anybody helping me? And he's just ran back in his position. I know if that was me and I was left 2v1, I'd be having a little word with my midfield player. Unfortunately, it's Bernardo Silva, and he's probably looking at him going, no, I'm going to go up front and score a goal.
Oh, Bernardo was through down the middle there, but Jesus has gone to the left-hand side. Zinchenko, Stevens thwacks it clear, almost into the stand. No nonsense.
Haven't heard that word for a while. Thwack. Good word.
Coined around about 1958, I think.
That made me smile then when you said that. Like something in a Batman movie or something.
He kapowed it into the stand. We see Pep Guardiola on the far side. He was asked in his news conference this week about having to rebuild for next season. And I think everybody at Manchester City are on tenterhooks. The Court of Arbitration for Sports in Switzerland will announce the result of their appeal against a 2-season ban from European competition. So at the moment, They won't be in the Champions League for the next 2 seasons, but July the 13th, we understand, will be the day that they find out their fate. They've been banned for serious breaches of licensing and financial fair play rules. He was bullish this week, though. Pep Guardiola says, we are waiting, but I have a lot of confidence and trust in people that we will be allowed to play in the Champions League. If you ask anybody, the common theory appears to be, well, they'll just halve it and they'll be banned for 1 season, but they seem to be confident as Sterling goes through, searching for an equaliser. Jesus runs into Bednarek. But it has huge implications for Manchester City going forward. Cancelo. Mahrez on the left foot, saved by McCarthy. Bernardo Silva. Mahrez again. Can he get it on that left foot again? Bednarek, excellent defending. Went to ground successfully. There's Shea Adams. They could be in business on the counter-attack here, Southampton. Terrific game of football. Look at Pep Guardiola gesticulating to his defenders.
Well, he was having a word with Zinchenko there, thinking he should come and close Ings down, but Ings decided to go back and have a little bit of a rest, give his midfield and his defenders a breather, because they're throwing everything at the ball. As soon as City get around the box, Mahrez is getting 2 or 3 shots blocked.
Bernardo Silva is in all sorts of space down the right-hand side. He got in behind Ryan Bertrand. Sterling's at the back post. On the penalty spot is Jesus. Arriving is David Silva, trying another header. I think there's been a clash of heads, has there, with Walker Peters. Both are on the ground. And Andre Mariner has blown the whistle so they can receive attention.
I've never seen David Silva go for 2 headers in a game before. The first one, he's really successful. Perhaps was unlucky to score on that one. He's just come from so deep. Yeah, and he's caught Walker Peters right on the side of the head. Hopefully the pair of them are all right.
They're both still on the ground. Just going through the protocols. There's David Silva, the first, up to his feet, rubbing the left side of his head. Alex McCarthy, the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, but Shea Adams' fabulous finish from distance separates the sides.
Yeah, good save this is, because he's covering his near post with his hands. It just opens that far post up. We know Mahrez is going to try and bend it with his left foot. Doesn't matter how you save him. De Gea special.
And the reason I mention that that appeal that is, or the verdict that is due, Lee, from the Court of Arbitration for Sport, because Pep Guardiola is entering the final year of his contract, and I'm sure that he is just waiting to see which way the wind will blow before maybe committing his future to Manchester City, or deciding that perhaps after next summer his talents will be taken elsewhere. What a man to have to replace for Manchester City. He says he's perfectly happy at the club, by the way, but a manager of his quality can barely miss 2 years of Champions League football. Ralph Hasenhüttl for Southampton. Things going his way this afternoon. Adams in pursuit. Aymeric Laporte, the centre-back, who incredibly is yet to play international football for France. Free kick to Southampton. Spoke to Bernardo Silva, who just committed the foul during the lockdown league via a video conferencing call, and he said his favourite thing about Manchester is the people. They're always fun, he said, always in a good mood, which surprised me.
See, I told you.
Having spent so much time with you over the last 7 years. Here's Armstrong.
A fun-loving bunch, the lot of us.
Here's Stevens. That's to nobody in particular.
Well, I think I'm fun to be with anyway. Spend a lot of time on my own.
A jest, of course. is Eric Garcia. Nicely laid off by Jesus. Advantage being played because he was fouled. Raheem Sterling picks up the ball from David Silva. On the overlap is Zinchenko. David Silva again. Jesus from that deeper position, having been fouled a few moments ago. Here is Bernardo. Not enough elevation on the cross, headed clear by Ward-Prowse. Only as far as Garcia. Fernandinho runs into very determined Danny Ings, but then Laporte sweeps it out to the left-hand side, Zinchenko. David Silva again.
Well, take a picture of that. David Silva's just given the ball away. Incredible. Must have been the bang on the head. Been really impressed with Southampton though. Full of confidence, happy to play the ball around at the back, play into midfield.
Foul by Cancelo. Is there an element of the current situation once players, Lee, have got used to the idea that this is just the new normal for the time being? Is there an element that they're quite enjoying life at the moment in terms of the weather's good, it's summer football, they can express themselves, except perhaps if you're in the lower reaches around the relegation area? This is a nice time of year to be playing football, isn't it?
I think they've forgotten all about that, to be honest with you. I think it was if it was a blistering hot summer, they might have a different viewpoint on it. The weather's not been brilliant of late. Since lockdown, well, since the restart, it's probably been the coolest it's been over lockdown, hasn't it? When we were a bit earlier on, it was very, very hot. We had a hot week the week, but so you know what? Once it gets going again, they're just thinking about football. They know they've got games to fulfill. The interesting thing is this 6-week break that they're going to get ish after this season finishes, and then straight into the next season. How much time will they be given to have another break, if you like, or will they just carry on pre-season? Because normally pre-season is about 6 weeks long, so I'm sure they'll have some sort of a break.
And there are internationals as well before the restart of the domestic seasons. There's Stevens, closing stages of a hugely entertaining first half. Kyle Walker-Peters seems to have recovered. Here's Danny Ings down the middle, flag stayed down, and it's over the top as he was stretching, and that is a typical Danny Ings run and expression. All smiles, but didn't find the back of the net that time.
What a ball from Walker-Peters. This is the angle, and this is what Danny Ings brilliant at. If you just look behind, it's Garcia who plays him onside. Laporte thinks he's off, but the centre-back behind him has played him onside, and that is a big chance for him. You expect him to hit the target at least. Not easy. Big chance for Southampton.
Romeo almost sent Redmond clear. David Silva is fouled by Romeo, and Romeo's going to get a yellow card. Ralph Hasenhüttl made the point that Southampton did some excellent business with Danny Ings because of his injury issues. When they first signed him on loan, they arranged and agreed a fee of £20 million, around $25 million with Liverpool. So once he'd had a season under his belt, scored 7 goals last season, it was kind of a no-brainer to buy him for that, because he's worth an awful lot more now. Sterling tried the diagonal into the penalty area towards Jesus.
Bednarik and Stevens have done really well, the two centre-backs. Been holding that back line together. Nothing's been going in between them. The distances are right. They've done a lot of good interceptions as well, and they've played out from the back. They look really comfortable.
The Lexus stoppage time at the end of this first half is 3 minutes. Garcia and Cancelo. Little nudge of the right boot and finds Bernardo. Garcia again. Laporte towards Jesus, edge of the penalty area. Patience from City. Mahrez. Cancelo. 35 years old now, Fernandinho, patrolling that midfield area. Laporte. Cancelo down the line. Bernardo's onside, stands it up towards the back post. Jesus' header down towards David Silva, cleared by Romeo. Mahrez turns dangerously, but the flag is up against Raheem Sterling.
So he's got the losing frown on him, then Pep, but he has one of them in the winning as well. Always thinking about something.
Well, Shea Adams has denied PK in Missouri and Roger in Florida, who were both still in with a chance of the $50,000 first prize in Premier League Pick'em. PK had 3-0 City, Roger had 4-0 City. Shea Adams scoring from 45 yards, sadly has put paid to both opportunities.
Oh, well done for getting so far then. Oh.
Andre Mariner appears at his watch and blows the whistle. Well, a very entertaining and watchable 45 minutes of football. Pep Guardiola with a little bit of work to do. Shea Adams scored his first goal as a Saint, and it was worth the wait. A great goal early on. Coming up on Premier League half-time, Rebecca Lowe, Robbie Earle and Robbie Mustoe have the first half highlights, and we'll look back at the rest of the action today. Premier League half-time is presented by Volkswagen.
And that protects our customers 24/7.
Sorry I'm late, everybody, and apologies for my appearance.
You look fine. We were just talking
Right.
about how customers...
I look like a wanted poster. I didn't have time to get my beard routine in this morning, so...
What beard routine?
Well, the key is maple nectar. Gives it that sheen.
Is there something wrong with my screen?
Jamie, what are you talking about?
You're right, Alan. We should be talking about bundling home and auto with Progressive, not this luscious mane of mine.
Jamie, do you know what a beard is?
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited right. You start with America's most awarded network, the one with unbeatable reliability 13 times in a row.
This network is one less thing I have to worry about.
Then you give people more plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need.
Verizon Unlimited plan is so reasonable, they could stay on for the rest of their lives.
You include the best in entertainment, and you offer it all starting at $35. Because everyone deserves the best. This is Unlimited built right, only on Verizon.
Waiting is over. The season goes on. A goal! Absolutely sensational! Liverpool are champions.
This summer, let's bring back that great tradition of seeing America from the open road. Come on, America. Let's road trip. Right now, lease a 2020 Sportage LX all-wheel drive for $189 a month with $500 trade assist cash.
They say less is more, but we believe more is more. That's why we built FanDuel Sportsbook with more ways to bet, more ways to fund your account, more ways to cash in, and more ways to cash out, with payouts delivered straight to your bank account in as little as 48 hours. You want more? You got it. Join today and get a risk-free bet worth up to $500. FanDuel Sportsbook. More ways to win.
You the man.
This summer, let's bring back that great tradition of seeing America from the open road. Come on, America. Let's road trip. Right now, lease a 2020 Soul LX for $149 a month with $500 trade assist cash.
Time and Temperature is brought to you by Raymore & Flanagan. Surround yourself with what you love.
Welcome to Premier League Halftime, presented by Volkswagen. You wait 456 days to score, and then you break your duck with an absolute cracker. That's the story of the first half. And Shay Adams, Rebecca Lowe, Robbie Earle and Robbie Mustoe with you. The Saints are leading Manchester City. Let's bring you those Geico first half highlights. And here is that goal, Robbie.
Yep, 29 appearances, Rebecca, without a goal. And Shay Adams, the number 10, is going to get that moment. And it's good closing down by his teammates. And when it falls to him, he hits it from distance and finds the back of the net. And I love the celebrations with his teammates, but I look this, there's the hard work from Armstrong. Now look at Shay Adams. He looks up, he clearly sees that Edison's in a difficult position away from his goal, and he has the confidence to one touch find the back of the net.
Yeah, and the way the City build up is very unusual. The goalkeeper Edison is so far off his line, but Zinchenko would normally be on that far side. But of course, the way that they play, often he's in the centre of midfield, where you have to be reliable and secure. As soon as he gives the ball away there, Edison's panicking, but he can't get back in time. And you see this frustration from Raheem Sterling. Just remonstrating with Zinchenko to protect the ball a little better than that.
Great scenes here as well. The Southampton players all go up to celebrate with Shay Adams getting that goal. They know how it feels. And then at the other end of the pitch, Southampton need the goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy, to come up with a big couple of saves and a big couple of moments. They also need a little bit of luck, which you need to win games against big teams. The ball comes here off the post against Fernandinho, and then when David Silva comes in with a header, McCarthy comes up with another big save, and then Raheem Sterling blasts it wide. So Southampton managed to keep themselves ahead 1-0. They're great.
It's not really going according to form, because normally the Saints struggle at home, and City have been really good since Project Restart. So it's not quite going the way we expected. Why not?
Well, I think sometimes Man City, and of course they've got a great squad, and they do rotate a lot. I think this is an example of, it's just looked a little disjointed for Man City. Different players in, different positions, lots of rotation. I think City have struggled to find a rhythm. Of course, we know they've got brilliant players on the bench that could come on and do something, but fair play to Southampton. They're playing 4-4-2, which is not easy against City, and they're doing a great job.
This is part of the problem. He's going to rotate because of the Champions League and FA Cup. It's going to be hard to find a rhythm.
It is hard to find a rhythm and consistency. And the one thing with Manchester City, however much they dominate possession and have the ball, there's times there's a sloppiness in defence, Rebecca, and that just gives the opposition a chance, an opportunity to maybe take a shot, as we saw Armstrong win the ball back there. They've got to deal with those things. But look, for Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden can come off the bench and make a big difference.
Yeah, they've got a strong bench, as they always have. After the break, a quick recap of Sunday so far. John Egan grabbed an equaliser for Sheffield United at Burnley. David Moyes throwing the lead away twice. And the champions win their first game since winning the title back in 30.
Oh, we love our new home. Neighborhood's great.
Amazing school district. The HOA has been very involved.
These shrubs aren't board approved. You need to break down your cardboard.
Thank you.
Violation. Violation.
I see you've met Cynthia.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
And does help us save a bunch of money.
2 inches over regulation.
Thanks, Cynthia.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
At the home of the champions, Liverpool trying to get their first win on the board since clinching that title. They got it against struggling Aston Villa. 2-0 the final score. This is the first goal from Sadio Mane with 19 minutes to go. Their first goals and their first win, much to the delight of the LFC fans in Las Vegas on our virtual watch party. Earlier on, the middle game of the day, Newcastle 2, West Ham 2. This was Newcastle's second equaliser, coming just 92 seconds after West Ham had taken the lead again. Dwight Gale feeding John Joe Shelvey, making David Moyes not particularly happy. And Turf Moor, Burnley 1, Sheffield United 1 was the final score there. This is the Sheffield United equaliser. You don't often see technique and positioning, certainly not in and around the league from centre-backs like John Egan, but this is Sheffield United. They do things a little differently. Lovely finish there from John Egan. Now, to see all the goals from all the games, all you have to do is head to the NBC Sports YouTube channel and you can watch our new daily show we've got there waiting for you, Premier League Update. And the Premier League simply continues. Tomorrow, Tottenham against Everton, NBCSN from 2. Tuesday, it's Palace, Chelsea and Arsenal, Leicester from 12 till 6. And Wednesday's 12 till 6. Man City back in action, as are Liverpool, who go to Brighton.
The Premier League on NBCSN is brought to you by Volkswagen. Drive something bigger than yourself.
And Doug.
You know, Limu, after all these years, it's the ones that got away that haunt me the most. Because you're not like everybody else. That's why Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance. So you only pay for what you need. What? Oh, I said.
Oh, this is my floor.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Pepsi Zero Sugar. All the cola flavor, none of the sugar.
At Sprint, we understand saving money for your family is now more important than ever. That's why we're offering our best unlimited deal. Switching at 4 lines of unlimited for just $100 a month. That's right, 4 lines for $100. If that's not enough, to really amp this up, we're including 4 amazing iPhone 11s on us when you trade in iPhone 6s or newer in any condition. And now, Sprint customers enjoy access to expanded coverage on the T-Mobile network. Shop from the comfort of your home at Sprint.com or come see us in our stores.
We're still up at the break of dawn, committed more than ever to the health and safety of all our athletes. And with many of our other favorite sports on hold, we're still offering the most thrilling, heart-pounding action in all the land. And that, America, is something you can bet on. Go to americasbestracing.net/strong to get in on the action today.
Holy mother of thin. Look what we did. We made it thin. How is this possible, you ask? It's not, but we done it anyway. Reese's Thins. Not sorry.
Only Wendy's 2 for $5 has all the chicken you crave. You can choose from the spicy or homestyle chicken sandwich, crispy or spicy 10-piece nuggets. But let's be real. You're gonna get those 20 spicy nugs for $5. Only at Wendy's.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing 16-year-old Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney. Oh, he went for it. Oh! His first goal in the Premiership. Here he is, Jamie Vardy in the clear to score again. He was never in doubt.
Henderson, Alexander-Arnold, Salah. Just glorious execution.
Barclays, champion of the Premier League since 2001 and official banking partner.
A reminder for you that we're getting closer to the start of the Brickyard 400 as Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick look to stay hot in the NASCAR Cup Series. It's coming your way at 4 p.m. Eastern right here on NBC, live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Che Adams capitalising on a rare Man City defensive error with class. His first Premier League goal, putting Southampton 1 up against second-place City. What's Pep planning? Usually something.
That's how a home and auto bundle is made. So, what are some key takeaways from this commercial? Did any of you hear the bundle your home and auto part?
I like that, just not when it comes out of her mouth. Yeah, as a mother, I wouldn't want my kids to see that.
Good mom.
To see, wait, I'm sorry, what?
Don't kids see enough violence as it is?
I've seen violence.
Maybe we turn the word bundle into a character, like Mr. Bundles.
Hey, top of the bundle to you.
My kids would love that.
We're still up at the break of dawn, committed more than ever to the health and safety of all our athletes. And with many of our other favorite sports on hold, we're still offering the most thrilling, heart-pounding action in all the land. And that, America, is something you can bet on. Go to americasbestracing.net/strong to get in on the action today.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway. What better place to kick into gear for the second half of NASCAR season? See who gets to kiss the bricks this 4th of July weekend.
Got a favorite game yet? With hundreds to choose from, you'll find it at hardrockcasino.com. Sign up and get 50 free spins, plus a bonus worth up to $1,000. Hard Rock Casino. Bring the games home.
Every day, nearly 2 million customers across New Jersey rely on PSE&G to provide natural gas. And every day, PSE&G is committed to doing it safely. That includes making sure you know what to do if you smell gas. A natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. If you suspect a gas leak, leave your home immediately. Get far away, then call 911. Remember, smell, leave, call. Protect the ones you love. Learn more at pseg.com/gas safety.
Golf fans, you ready? We are teeing up for a fairway frenzy, and everyone's invited for a $500 deposit bonus, because golf is back again. Put down the remote, pick up your phone, get the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and get up to a $500 deposit bonus. Golf fans, it's time. 18 holes away, every stroke counts. Ready to find your stride? Play through. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code and get your $500 deposit bonus. DraftKings, game on.
Together, we're for New York.
Game on.
Together, we're for New York.
Well, Ralph Hasenhüttl will be the happier of the two managers at half-time. He was asked before the game whether he was terrified of the prospect of Manchester City in this sort of form visiting St Mary's. He said, terrified, no. We faced them after that ominous result. He was talking about the 9-0 against Leicester, and we were close to getting something, so we're not scared. And so far, his side have acquitted themselves very well indeed. Technically, by the way, Manchester City require 5 points from their final 6 games, including today, to be sure of a top 4 finish. That will happen fairly soon, I would have thought. But their away form, Lee, has let them down this season. They've been beaten 6 times on their travels, Manchester City, which partly explains the huge gulf in points with Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something Pep will be looking at. He won't be happy with that. He won't be happy with that. Taking a chance on the ball there from Garcia and put his team in a bit of trouble.
He almost gave it away, but then City looked to bring it clear. That's calmly done by Laporte. Finds Zinchenko, who was caught in possession for the game's only goal so far. But having said that, Shea Adams had a lot of work to do from way out, lofting the ball over Ederson into the empty net for his first Southampton goal in this, his 30th appearance. Fernandinho. Mahrez. Closed down by Bertrand. Bertrand's had the better of that tussle so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He's played really well. He's had a bit of help from Redmond, to be fair, but every time Mahrez has got the ball, he's been what he needs to be. And he needs to drop off. He has done when he needs to be tight. He's been tight. He's got his decision-making spot on. If you just look every time the ball goes out to that right-hand side, City's right-hand side, Southampton's left. Almost in tandem, Bertrand and Redmond.
Zinchenko was looking for the feet of David Silva. Strong tackle from Fernandinho. I'm sure we'll be enjoying a run out in his old area of central midfield. McCarthy can't prevent the corner. Mahrez to take left-footed. Into the near post, Jesus with the header. Flashed across goal, no takers at the back post.
Yeah, it's a good run to get in front of the Southampton defence there. Get first on that. Mahrez whips it in. Just look at his movement there to that corner of the 6-yard box. And as you said, there was two at the far post, couldn't quite block it in. And he's asking why.
Excellent combative play by Jesus. Here's Sterling to the byline, wins his side another corner.
That's brilliant play from Sterling. Such quick feet. Squares the defender up. Moves the ball so quickly.
Neither manager made a change at half-time, so in theory 10 substitutes available still between them across 3 windows in the second half.
Second half could be about an hour and a half long then.
Fernandinho, chance, blocked by Walker-Peters, and then Jesus couldn't stab home the rebound. And it's McCarthy who's the busier yet again of the 2 goalkeepers at the start of this second half.
Oh, he couldn't quite get enough on it, could he, Jesus? The header, the rebound.
Here's Garcia. And Sailor to the back post. David Silva was lurking there. And it's relentless, isn't it?
Oh, that's great positioning as well from Walker-Peters. Gets his left foot on it to clear the ball. You feel the pressure building now.
Zinchenko. One for McCarthy, who palms it behind for another corner. He had Raheem Sterling behind him. Wasn't sure whether that would have landed on Sterling's head, so took the safer option.
Yeah, he's got to go for that. He can't let that go.
Here's Zinchenko on the left foot, eyeing up a shot straight at Bertrand. Ederson looking for a virtual length of the field pass towards an on-rushing Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, this is the header from Jesus. Just gets put up. He just can't quite get enough on it. Goes over the top of Walker-Peters. Because it's a virtual standing jump, he can't get enough power on it.
It's a little loose by Zinchenko. Nathan Redmond trying to take advantage. Cancelo back though to cover the mistake by the left back. There's no Benjamin Mendy in the squad today for Manchester City, so Zinchenko presumably has 90 minutes earmarked for him today. Here's Fernandinho. Cancelo. Jesus against Bednarek. Lovely little flick in field. Now Armstrong for Southampton. Danny Ings pointing right down the middle where he wanted it. He's right between the two City centre-backs, Laporte and Garcia. Ball doesn't arrive. Fernandinho for City. Mahrez. Sliding challenge by Stuart Armstrong. But it's a free kick to City.
The energy levels are still high, flying into the tackles, both sides.
Bernardo. Fernandinho. Jesus been laying the ball off beautifully so far. Ball into the feet of David Silva. McCarthy there again. Excellent block. Saved by the Saints goalkeeper.
Well, how many saves has he made now? That's probably about 5, and it's a brilliant slip ball in between two defenders, and the touch. The first touch was brilliant. The second touch was even better. And he just couldn't quite get it past McCarthy, and it's a good save from the keeper. He comes off his line really quickly. But a man of David Silva's ability should be putting that in the net, you have to say. Did I just criticise David Silva then?
I believe you did.
That's a microphone drop moment.
Like his poor pass in the first half, a collector's item.
Yeah.
Fernandinho. Hunted down by Danny Ings. Away goes Armstrong. Still going. Stuart Armstrong. It's a bit of a swing from Laporte. And here's Shea Adams. Ward-Prowse. David Silva. Here's Fernandinho. And Salo in space on the right. 4 to aim for. The hanging cross. The volley by Jesus. And it's deflected behind for another corner. If you ask Pep Guardiola, what do you want to see happen in this second half? Of course, his side to win the game, but Jesus to grab a goal.
Yeah, and you feel as if there's more and more chances coming. And also what you do feel, if I just looked over De Bruyne getting warmed up.
And Salo. With Silva. Here is Jesus. Bought himself half a yard to get the shot away. Garcia tries to hook it back towards the penalty area. And Zinchenko does excellently to win the ball back off Danny Ings.
What you would say is Jesus does look sharp, doesn't he? Every time he gets the ball. His feet, his link-up play. As you said, he just needs to be in the middle of the goal and one hit him on the knee and fly in just to get him off.
Zinchenko intelligently done to Raheem Sterling. Back it goes to David Silva. You feel a goal here is imminent. Bernardo. It was blocked on the edge of the 6-yard box. Didn't fall to Jesus' feet. And a case in point is Jamie Vardy yesterday. Is that a yellow card for Fernandinho, who had gone a long time without scoring, Lee? He was squared up with a tap-in from a couple of feet out by Harvey Barnes yesterday, and then all of a sudden all the confidence came rushing back, and then before the end of the game he's rushing half the length of the field with the ball and prodding it home beautifully for his second of the match.
I played with one of the best goal scorers, strikers that's ever been in the English game, in Ian Wright, and he never used to get down when he went into spells of non-scoring, because he just had confidence in his ability. He never got frustrated. I'm sure he did privately, but he never shown. He was always a give the same whether he was scoring or not.
Here's Adams, but the flag will go up against him on the near side.
And he always used to say, do you know what, Dickard, I'm just going to stay in the middle of the goal and the ball will come to me and I'll put it in the net. You know, he was that confident about his positional play on the pitch. And then if those two come on, then you just feel that a De Bruyne pass might just open up this Southampton defence like he does most weeks.
If not, a Phil Foden pass.
Yeah.
Nicely done by Bertrand. Stevens, McCarthy. And that's not to belittle Southampton's efforts here. They have taken the game to Manchester City when they've had the opportunity, and they hold the lead here, and it's a double switch. So Raheem Sterling will come off, Phil Foden will come on, 20 years of age. And Riyad Mahrez is the man to make way for Kevin De Bruyne. Just what you need if you're a Southampton defender or midfielder. Just starting to feel it perhaps as we approach the hour mark in your legs. And you look up and here comes a very fresh Kevin De Bruyne onto the field. There's Fernandinho. Here is De Bruyne in space and gives the ball away with his first pass. Walker-Peters.
I just put my microphone down to write something down and then nearly spoke into my pen then, which would have gone down well.
It's been a long season, Lee. Jesus.
Ward-Prowse has put a shift in. Really worked hard. Romeo in midfield, the two of them in there. Done a really sterling job.
Here's Cancelo for Manchester City. Just about on the hour mark now, trailing by 1-0. De Bruyne. A little awkward for Bernardo to deal with. Sent forward by Southampton. Here's Danny Ings. Shea Adams making a diagonal run away from him, which is a good run. Armstrong to Ward-Prowse. He's got a good chance of keeping this ball in play. Concedes the throw.
Yeah, really good. Well done. I don't normally praise players for working hard. It should be a given, but he's been quite noticeable how much of the pitch he's got around today.
Nice turn, wasn't it, by Bernardo Silva? You could see the idea by Phil Foden inside of the defender towards a galloping Kevin De Bruyne. Calmly done by Garcia. Oh, beautifully done on the ground by Bernardo. De Bruyne.
Oh, another collector's item.
He's just working his way into the game.
I felt for sure Bertrand's just waving now at the Southampton bench, and that means he's done something that's he's not going to be able to carry on with. I think he's kicked the bottom of someone's foot.
It was his red card early in the game, Lee, here in October. in the 12th minute, in fact, that led to that 9-0 defeat. They were 1-0 down at the time. It was the first player to be awarded a red card via VAR.
Yeah.
In the Premier League. Mike Dean in the VAR office overturned Andre Mariner, who's the referee today, his original decision.
Well, thumb's gone up from the physio, so he's going to be able to continue for a bit anyway.
Well, he was banned for 3 matches after that red, and he's played every Premier League minute since.
It's his right foot, he doesn't use that one very often. See, the hairdressers are open again. You see Phil Foden's little cheeky cut he's had?
I hadn't noticed, actually.
Really? Wait till the camera zooms in on that.
I couldn't see. My own hair was in my eyes.
You haven't been to the barbers, obviously.
No, that's booked for this week. Walker Peters. That's a good run being made down the middle. Ward-Prowse. David Silva finds Zinchenko. The only surprise at the moment in this game is that we've only seen 1 goal. Silva to Fernandinho. Foden gliding in off that right flank. Sprays it out beautifully to Zinchenko. He's got David Silva in support. Into the area is De Bruyne. Zinchenko down the line to Bernardo. Excellent defending though by Jack Stevens, but another corner to Manchester City.
Yeah, they're going to take a short one as well.
De Bruyne onto his left foot. That's off Walker Peters. David Silva. Fernandinho. De Bruyne, first time across goal. Here's Bernardo, and that's taken a deflection and gone wide.
Oh, Ward-Prowse it was, and Walker Peters who threw himself at Bernardo's shot. Got something on it. He just felt that cross shot from De Bruyne was going to end up somewhere dangerous.
Whipped into the near post. Armstrong gets the second ball clear. City camped in that Southampton half. David Silva again. Zinchenko. Bernardo sits down Walker Peters. Lovely cross towards the back post by Zinchenko. In fairness to Walker Peters, he leapt back onto his feet immediately. Danny Ings down, wanted the foul. Andre Mariner waves play on. Cancelo. Phil Foden immediately has a little run here at Redmond. Sent into the back post. Walker Peters with the header.
Wow, what pressure. City play the ball so good in wide areas that they're stretched right across the pitch, Southampton.
Zinchenko, and there's the header by Jesus. Saved by McCarthy.
Yeah, it's a good ball in, but he almost gets up too early. Jesus, he's up there waiting for it. There's the cross shot. Just hits, almost hits the back of the head. Hits him on the back.
City have a free kick. David Silva. Bernardo's cross. And now Armstrong can bring the ball clear. Decent ball by Bertrand down the line. Oh, it's left short. This could be an opportunity for Adams, and Ederson flew off his line outside his area, and that was a proper defender's tackle.
Well, I thought Adams was going to get there. And that's the beauty of having a goalkeeper like Edison. He's always alert, always on the edge of his box. And he saved the goal there, no doubt.
And we'll have the drinks break in the second half. Good ball in behind initially, wasn't it, by Bertrand?
Yeah. Because the angle of the ball and the angle of the player running back, to whip that back to your goalkeeper, you've almost got to get hardly any on that ball, and he surely didn't get enough, and Adams wasn't far off.
When you see Edison running out of his area, and as we've seen in collisions with his own players at times, you know he's not backing out.
Oh no, he's full on, absolutely full on, committed to the cause. He's taking everything out.
Well, he must be considering a change, Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Well, they've now been City pushing them back so far in the wide areas. They're doubling up, helping their fullbacks out, but that's leading to 6-7 players strung across, and what that does is just open up the front of the penalty area. And with the likes of David Silva, Foden, De Bruyne on the ball in that area, they can pick any cross they want out into the box. They can hit all sorts. A variety of crosses into the box is quite scary at times.
Nice shot of the docks here in Southampton on the south coast of England. A lot of cruise ships depart once we get back to something like normal again. Shane Long is going to come into the game then for Southampton fairly soon. Imagine, Lee, when Manchester City do arrive at the second leg of that last 16 tie against Real Madrid, who themselves have started or restarted La Liga well. Looks like they're going to seal the title at some point fairly soon. But City are going to be a well-oiled machine by the time the Champions League comes around, aren't they?
Yeah, every one of these minutes that they're playing now is going to be invaluable towards the end of the season for those tournaments you talked about in the FA Cup as well. Pep knows that, the players know that. They're all playing for places, there's no doubt. In a squad like this, he makes so many changes that at some point he's going to settle for his cup side, and you want to be in that.
Shea Adams has been waiting just about a year for that moment. Signed last summer. Danny Ings looked delighted for his fellow striker scoring his first Southampton goal, and Shane Long replaces him. Only got 2 goals in the Premier League himself this season, Shane Long, the Republic of Ireland international. Here's Laporte. Oh, Garcia. Fernandinho. Challenges are still rattling in from Southampton.
Yeah. Just look at the balance of Phil Foden when the ball gets played into him. He's just got such a brilliant way of staying on his feet when he's challenged. Wants to play all the time and go forward. You know, we've talked about him a lot over the last few games when he's been playing. He's going to be a proper superstar, the lad.
He's showing here for Cancelo. And the delay of the European Championships, Lee, may work very much in England's favour and Phil Foden's favour, because David Silva not retiring but leaving City after a season. And if Foden is the man, and that's what we're hearing from Pep Guardiola, he said to the City board, no need to sign a replacement, we've got him already, it's Phil Foden. De Bruyne, that's a little too strong. So another season in the belt in the first team, and he'll be raring to go for the European Championships.
Absolutely.
Looks mildly irritated over there.
Well, he's just seen De Bruyne whack one, or thwack one, as you said, out of play from across, and then he's just seen him give the ball away. What, 30-yard miss hit? Just completely unheard of. No wonder he's looking bemused.
Nicely done by Nathan Redmond. And the cross in towards Danny Ings. Wasn't far away from it. Nicely anticipated by Stevens. Here's Romeu. When any team faces Manchester City, you are feeding on scraps of possession. But when they do possess the ball, Southampton, they do look capable.
Well, getting that goal when they did, Arlo, they've been able to just sit back and rely on that ability as a team to keep City out, and so far they've done it. But McCarthy takes a lot of credit for that. He's made some good saves.
With the threat of more to come, and it was a turn and shot first time by De Bruyne. He's not quite got his sights set so far since coming on. A little recalibration required.
He hasn't got a twin brother, has he? Kevin De Bruyne has stayed at home today.
As ever, City's press is organised, very difficult to play through. And Cancelo finds Fernandinho.
Been good. When you press like that as well, you're inviting City onto you, but you've got to go as a team. You've got to go in 2s and 3s around the ball, and that takes communication. Little triggers around the pitch where one goes and it just snaps the others into action.
Well, we miss the fans tremendously, Lee, don't we? And the game isn't the same without them. But credit to the players who are putting on some fine entertainment, and there could be a second goal here for Southampton. It's a good save by Ederson from Armstrong, and again Southampton looking capable when they have the ball in the final third. In an attacking sense.
It's a big chance, Arlo, that is. 3 players right down the middle of the pitch. Armstrong, Ings and Long. It's a good save in the end with the feet. And just cuts inside, and then they all funnel into the centre of the pitch. And he gets a little bit of a lucky ricochet, and that's not far off going in. Because Ederson's diving to his right, just sticks his left foot out to save it.
It sits up very nicely, doesn't it? Redmond. Here's Armstrong again. Right-footed this time, and saved by Ederson. And whoever's controlling the crowd noise thought that was in the top corner.
Did he press the wrong button then? I thought I'd missed something.
Here's Fernandinho. The off-season for Manchester City is going to be very interesting indeed. Yet to really replace Vincent Kompany, the colossus of a captain who left at the end of last season. Here's Armstrong. Is that handball by Fernandinho? No, says Andre Mariner. Now Bernardo. Southampton looking a little stretched for once. Across it goes to De Bruyne. You expect a better strike from Kevin De Bruyne with a bit of space that he was offered there. Here he is again. Who's at the back post? It's Bernardo. He goes short to Foden. And that angled ball in towards Jesus. Now Fernandinho hasn't scored yet this season. Zinchenko. Bernardo. Zinchenko again. Towards the back post. Foden was there, but so too Bertrand. But you wonder about the future of John Stones, who's on the bench again today. Eric Garcia preferred to him. Nicolas Otamendi maybe nearing the end of his time at Manchester City. Leroy Sané sold this week to Bayern Munich for around $68 million. Aguero and Fernandinho well into their 30s. Pep Guardiola says yes, he is up for a rebuild. It's not a disaster, he says. It's part of football. Linked this week with David Alaba of Bayern and Kalidou Koulibaly of Napoli, who themselves are in their late 20s, full-back and centre-back. Cancelo. De Bruyne, who's capable of absolute magic from that position. David Silva. Desperate defending by Southampton, but it's effective. Fernandinho, look at that commitment on the edge of the area to block the shot. Zinchenko, Kyle Walker-Peters into the stands. Got to be impressed with Southampton's rear guard.
Yeah, that's been a feature. They've thrown all sorts of bodies at the shooter. That proves they're closing down and honing in on the man with the ball has been superb today. It's a dangerous ploy at times because City are so quick at flicking the ball out of possession to somebody in space, but they've just got it absolutely spot on around the box especially.
Well, he won't like leaving points on the table, but...
Oh, he'd be furious, don't worry about that. Does not like losing.